Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Matcha Tarot. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Hope that the work week has been treating you guys well thus far. A couple more days, right? Until, when some of us might have time off during the weekend for the holidays and stuff. So, kudos to you if you do. And if you have to, work and be on the grind, hopefully you still have a nice weekend when it approaches. Um, Excuse me. Wow. What the heck was that about? Excuse me. Every time I'm about to read. It's that or sneeze attacks. It's one or the other. Lately it's been a lot of burping though. Hey girly. What's up? What's up guys? Hey guys. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Love y'all. Love y'all. What's up guys? Um, Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, so if you're new to the channel, as you guys start popping in, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around and support by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. I greatly appreciate it. And also, if, sorry, moving something out of the way, so Ren first. Um, yeah, you want space. You're like, I want to hang out, mom. Every time you were just doing other things. Now you're like, oh, lights, camera, action. Yeah. But yes, like I said, as you guys are trickling in, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who have already been supporting me, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate you guys. My day it was fine. I'm just tired. My body's just tired. And I'm like, why am I so damn tired? It's the retrograde. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, like my sleep patterns haven't been the best. I mean, every time I'm on break though, from work, from working with the kids, because I always like my sleep schedule is all already out of whack, and it's just way worse then. Because like what I would do is like I either go to bed super late or I go to bed super early and then wake up in the middle of the night and I'm up for hours at a time. It's really annoying. So like, I didn't really give myself enough time to kind of get back into the swing of things before going back to work. So like I was like a zombie. We all looked at each other like, why are we here, guys? Why are we here? We were not ready. But we missed our kiddos though. We did. Um, and for whatever reason, my little punk ass students all day they were messing with me. They were like, they were calling me Rochelle. I'm like, where did that name even come from? What are y'all talking about? um, Hey Bookie, what's up, girl? Like all freaking day, I'm like, you guys are little butt heads, and I would ignore them on purpose. I'm like, so somebody wants some Doritos, but they're not being really nice to their teacher after the teacher said stop calling them that. I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm like, you little butt heads. So then I purposely call them names that they don't like their middle names or by their last names, and they're like, I was just joking. Yeah, little butts. But anyways, all right, guys. Enough of my Oh, I love that show, and she is so funny. She's so funny. My girl, Tina Arnold, hilarious. Maybe that's why they're calling me that, because I'm sticking to the man. You know what I mean? I don't play with those damn kids, but it's tough love, and they love me for it. Yeah. Like my student today, he said, "Fuck you, Michelle," and I said, "Okay." I looked at him like, "That you think I care?" I said it just like that, and he looked at me. I don't think he expected that response. He's like, "I didn't really mean to say that." I'm like, "And I know you didn't mean to say that. So what are we gonna do, bud? Are we gonna calm our body now? Are we ready?" He said it with his full chest too. "Fuck you, Michelle." I'm like, okay. Say something I haven't heard before, fuck you too. No, I didn't say that, but I'm just saying, like, okay. I get cursed out all the time. You think I care? Next, right? Hey, the Cairo, how are you? Ooh, from France. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let me not blabber on too much. You guys know how I am when I start talking about my students and stuff like that. I love my babies, though. And this is the last time This month is the last time I'm gonna have those students. I'm very, very sad about it. I love them. Um, I'm gonna have a new set of kids. Some of the kids I'm getting though are gonna be kids that I had in the past, which I was shocked by. I wasn't expecting that because they don't usually do that rotation at my job. But some of the students I'm gonna have again, and I'm like, oh, okay. They like three of them I'm gonna have again. I'm like, okay, I could rock with that. No, not three. The three is it two? Two of them. I'm like, I can work with it. All right, let me shut up. All right, guys. So as you guys saw in the in the title, this is going to be shaman messages, okay? And I hope she pops in, but my girl from Aya Inspired Tarot, she gifted me this deck. And I love this deck very, very much. And, you know, I like to feature the decks that my besties give me on here from time to time. And I felt drawn to those today. So we're going to base our reading around that and to see what, you know, the guides have to say when it comes to different, you know, parts of your path at this time. All of a sudden I got super hot. I was not hot before. I was comfortable. And all of a sudden I got hot. So that's how you know we're about to locked and loaded. um, it's like so ain't so many things that I can take off before I get flags on Facebook. I mean Facebook on YouTube, right? So I gotta keep my clothes on. I just start, gotta take your clothes off. um, oh, that was really sweet. Thank you, Cairo. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, guys, so let's get started. I'm going to do some shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Yeah, let's do some shuffles. And then, yeah, we'll pull a few from here. And I have some other pre-selected decks that I felt drawn to. And we'll go from there. See what Spirit has to say. These shaman-like messages, you know, messages of wisdom to help you at this time on your journey. Whatever you got going on, we're going to tap into it and see. A couple more shuffles, Spirit. Spirit, want to let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. Clearest and most accurate messages, please and thank you. All right, we got on the bottom here. Repairing the veil. Forgiveness. So this might be a time to either, I'm getting a couple of different things here, either repairing, you know, some relationships that are meant to be repaired. Not all of them are meant to be repaired, but it's important to be able to distinguish which ones are which. But yes, practicing forgiveness seems to be important right now to move forward. Even if, you know, you just have to kind of, you know, call it a truce and say, you know, we're not meant to be, you know, necessarily in each other's lives right now, but I forgive you. I hope you forgive me, kind of thing. Make, you know, extending an olive branch is kind of what I'm picking up on. Dust Devil is here on the top. Moving out of stagnation. Yeah, you don't want to, I heard the word purgatory. You don't want to stay stuck, right? Staying stuck in your circumstances just because of, you know, pettiness and, you know, stuff like that. You don't want to stay there. So forgiveness is seeming like it could be important. Lost Compass is here in the middle of the deck. Getting back to integrity. Yeah, you don't want to lose your sense of integrity in the process is what I'm kind of picking up on. So keeping your integrity intact is what I'm picking up on. When it comes to, you know, deciding if you would like to rebuild certain relationships. You know, that makes sense. Alright, so let's get like, yeah, I'm hearing the number 4. And ironically, I started this reading at exactly 444. Not intentional at all. I just happened to look at the time. I was like, oh shit, 444. So let's see. Alright. In the hand, the universe is your partner. So I am getting like this energy of, you know, working with the universe, right? Working with your guides and things like that on this part of the journey, you know, with that number 31 on there. If it were mirrored, it would be the number 13. It's given like death and rebirth vibes, ego death even, you know, understanding that you can't do everything alone. I heard the word sublimination. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a card in here that says sublimination of the ego or something like that. Excuse me. We have closing door completion. So there's something closing out. And it could be, certain relationships in your life, or moving forward with relationships. I'm getting, kind of a little bit of both, depending on what is happening in your life at this time. So we also have here sky dancers. It says surrender. I don't think I've ever seen this card before. If I have, I only saw it maybe once or twice, but I really don't remember this card. I know this deck pretty well, but yeah, sky dancers, surrender. Some of you guys might be like little millennials like myself and remember that toy. It was recalled because like kids were like losing eyeballs and shit like that. So yeah, they had to take it off the shelves. But it was fun while it lasted. um, but yeah, I am getting this energy though of, as you surrender and let go, close out those, those old chapters. Um, Work with the Most High. Let them help guide you. I'm definitely getting an energy of, deciding and discerning, which relationships are meant to foster at this time. That's what I'm picking up on. Stars in the sky, limitless uh, possibility. I almost heard the word potential. Um, Very interesting. You're stepping into your higher self. It's giving me like light body activation too as I look at the card. Interesting. We have Street Illuminati. Hi, how are you? Why does it seem like some people attract luck, opportunities, and protection, but others don't? That's a really good question. Um, it's a very loaded question too, because there's not really one specific answer to that. But one thing I have noticed, a lot of people who feel the way that you feel, that frustration maybe, if this is what you're going through personally, a lot of people, myself included, sometimes I'm gonna say we, using the term a little bit loosely here, but sometimes we have a different path that is just slightly, not that we're better than anybody, but like the path is just a little bit harder because we have more stuff that we have to carry to be able to fulfill a certain job, if that makes any sense. It's giving me grunt work. Like, we have to do a little bit more just to, kind of see the same results as other people. The other answer I'm getting to though is, okay, so go back to what I was initially saying. You know how they say, God gives, the hardest work to his strongest soldiers? Is giving me that. I know it sounds so cliche, but I do believe that. Like light workers and stuff like that. Some of us are put here for a purpose that's just slightly, more elevated. It's not that we're better than anybody. We're all here for different reasons, but in order to be able to help, kind of, carry people along and help them on their path and things like that, we have to be able to have the experience and the knowledge to be able to help them. Does that make sense? The other thing I'm getting to though is karma. Sometimes we have karmic debts and things like that that we have not paid out, and we're still paying for it. And if we haven't done our work, our shadow work and things like that, and our self-isolation grow, we will possibly keep on repeating patterns and things like that, which will mean that you're going to see other people doing all these great things in their lives and you're sitting there like, well, what about me? So I'm getting kind of those kind of two things. I don't know if that makes any sense or if it answers your question, but that's what I was picking up on. Because you didn't answer or ask like a specific question, like, oh, is so and so gonna come back to me? Like, you didn't ask me that. So like I feel like what you're asking is like a question that a lot of us probably would like to know an answer to, and I think that's a valid answer, because I've asked the same question many times too, like, why me? And also, shifting our mindset is important too, right? this energy of being able to attract what it is that we want in our lives. So if you want to see change, you got to be the change. I'm getting that too. Um, so that kind of thing. If you want to see the change, you have to be the change. You know, you got to make changes in your life to see those things happen outside of you. Changing your mindset is important too. You know, if you're walking around with a like a woe is me, not to say that's you, but just in general, like walking around with like a woe is me attitude, unfortunately, you're going to kind of attract that because it's the energy you're putting out there, you know. You do have free will and choice in certain aspects of the matter, and we can choose to be in a more positive space and attract that. Law of attraction and law of assumption. Um, Again, I don't know if that's helpful or if it makes any sense, but those are things that, you know, I've been learning over time when I question, you know, things. So when I say, why is this happening? What the hell? Life fucking sucks right now. I'm starting to realize more and more that when I shift the way that I look at it and understand that life isn't necessarily happening to me, it might be happening for me to build my character, make me stronger, so I can be on this path that's going to help other people. Just again, using myself as an example here, you know, we're all on different journeys and things like that, but that's just what I'm picking up on. But yeah. Oh, sure. Racism, that's a whole different ballgame, my brother. I'm assuming I can't see your thumbnail or your picture. When you bring that up, for some reason I just feel like you might be one of my kind. Powers that be, brother, the powers that be. And you know, nothing we can really do about it. It's an earthly thing. The only thing we could do is try to separate ourselves from it, and even that's kind of difficult, right? Because even when we try to do that, they try to blow us up and shit like that. We've seen it. Tulsa. Many other things. It's hard for us to have what we want for ourselves, but that's a whole different thing. Look at that mindful groupthink, as we're talking about that kind of thing, right? How funny is that? But yes, I'm getting this energy of being around like-minded individuals, people who, you know, you vibe with and vibe off of, and vice versa. Like being able to be around people who, yeah, number 4 might be significant, and it's ironic because, like I said, I started this reading at 4:44 on the nose, and it was not intentional at all. I was like, oh shit! I hit the button. I'm like, oh, this is 4:44. So some of you guys might resonate with that number. Straddling worlds, wandering between realms is here. Unmarked trail, revelation, learning, right? Learning the path, learning where to go. Some of you guys, this is very specific, this is not going to be for everybody. Some of you guys might be into dance, like interpretive dance and stuff like that. Very cool. African dance, jazz dance. Let me know. There might be a dancer. When I say a dancer, I mean like a dancer, like trained dancer. It's pretty cool. Cause I'm like picking up on like the physique of somebody, like not in a weird way, like just like somebody who's like really like got like that dancer body, like because they've been like training for a long ass time. So let me know if that resonates with anyone. But just generally speaking, yeah, we have the farther gate, bold step forward is here. So it's giving like, you know, with, you know, endings come beginnings, but it also requires some change. A change in, you know, I heard the word trajectory, like a change in the route in which you're trying to head is what I'm kind of picking up on. Let's get like 2 more from here. I wasn't hungry just a second ago. All of a sudden I got super hungry. Alright, Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. So you're preparing for what's to come in, and you're ready to see the fruit of your labor come together because of it. And I think it's going to involve, other people in your life, in your corner, people who you are able to help build with, or help build with, and they can help you build as well. Like, when you start to allow yourself to welcome in like the right people into your space, into your life, right? You don't have to have certain people in your space and in your life. You could cut off ties when needed if you know that certain people are just not, going to bring anything to your life in terms of any growth, right? And vice versa. Sometimes you have to call a spade and say, yeah, I'm good. Hey, Aya, what's up, girl? Hey, girl, hey. One of my sisters in the building, so I think I have Aya is here, and we also have Phoenix Priestess here. If you want to go check them out, they're readers as well, and they're amazing at what they do, and I'm super grateful. They are a part of my tribe, and they help me with what I do. And I did say this earlier before we started pulling any cards, but I said I felt drawn to this deck that you gifted me, girl. So I love when my friends gift me stuff, and I can showcase it on here because those decks have a lot of significant meaning to me. A lot of significant meaning. So thank you for being here, my love. Appreciate you. We have Feast of Plenty. I don't think I've ever seen this card before either. A lot of cards I've never seen, or only seen a couple of times here and there, and I've used this deck quite a bit now. I've never seen this one. Feast of Plenty. Choices and their consequences. Yeah, there are choices to be made. It's giving like Two of Swords vibes. Like, that you have to make choices. But the thing is, when you make the choice that you're being guided to make, it allows for you to come into a connection with the right people. That's what I'm picking up on. Yeah, it's time to adapt. We have Woodwives, adaptability. Excuse me. There could be something significant about autumn, fall, whatever. For some of you, maybe your birthday is in fall, or you just really love fall. Or maybe just for you represents like a lot of change, which makes a lot of sense. Especially with 64 in here, which is about completion, closure. We have more than one card that talks about that so far. So, yeah. Moon Maiden, new beginnings, yes. Here in the middle of the deck. That number 5 keeps just showing up. Moon Maiden, new beginnings, 41 adds up to 5. So definitely some importance when it comes to some, closure and new beginnings, and also changes, right? Because the changes have to happen first. You can't just think, oh, I'm just gonna go all willy-nilly and do this and that. Like, no, you gotta do some work first. you know. And what I'm picking up on right now is practicing forgiveness. Being able to recognize, based on what you've learned in this cycle, the people that are you're meant to foster connections with versus the people who you are meant to kind of distance yourself from and walk away from. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't leave those circumstances with a sense of, resentment and things like that. That's what I'm getting. Because when you harbor that, you're not, it just festers, and that's not going to do anything. It's just going to anchor you down, hold you down. You don't want that. So if you're not going to do it for them, do it for yourself, which I think is the most important thing. Yes, beloved, radical acceptance. Number 2 is showing up again too. Yeah, being able to accept things for what it is. And it's definitely giving like matters of the heart, right? That heart is on fire. That heart is on fire because you care. But at the same time, you have to accept things for what it is. That is not proper English, and I'm well aware of it, by the way. Joyful muse, inspiration. But you can use what is happening here as a way to feel inspired. aka my girl. I Inspire Tarot. But yes, you can use that as a form of inspiration. It's giving like Ace of Wands. Yeah. Jeweled Web. That, damn, that number 5 just keeps showing up in different ways. 32 is here, 5. You might be seeing that number a lot. Maybe a life path number 5. Let me know in the comments. Um, but yeah, Jeweled Web connectivity. It's all connected. All the things that are happening, even when it doesn't make sense, it's all connected, right? Yeah, I hope it resonates. Whale song resonating. Yeah, I hope it resonates. I hope it makes sense. I hope that you find people that you resonate with, right? No more staying, stuck and confined in circumstances or with people in your life that don't, mesh with who you are and where you're at right now. You need people in your space that are going to allow for you to really also grow too. All right. What's going on here? Oh, I did this backwards. Usually, oh no, it's the way that the box is. I was like, what? I usually put my cards on top of the guidebook, and I'm just like, what the hell? But the way that the box is, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, what the heck? I like the packaging of this though. It is nice. All right, let's see. I don't use these often. I think I've probably used them less than a handful of times, to be honest. Like in general, like not even just in terms of them here. But this is the Wild Mystic Oracle. So before I even do any shuffling, we do have Strength here on the bottom of the deck. And Hunt. Interesting. Sagittarius energy there, and then Leo. Very interesting. Sometimes we have to go after what it is that we want, and we have to find that that sense of power within ourselves to go after it. Not always the easiest thing, I know, right? Sometimes we feel, a little bit weak, or just, we lack the courage to go after the things that, we want to, set our sights on, is what I'm picking up on. I'm going to say we, because I feel I resonate with that. You sound very well educated. Thank you. Yeah, I try to be well versed. I did go to college and stuff like that. I work in the education field, so I like to believe that I'm well educated. But, let's keep in mind, education comes in so many different forms, too. There are people who never did an ounce of, college a day in their life, but they're smarter than me. Well, intelligence and smarts are also two different things, so it's something to keep in mind. But I think that, as long as we're constantly trying to, learn, we all can be well educated. It's just a matter of, allowing that transformation to happen. Allow it to happen, right? As we grow, we have to shed things first, and allow that knowledge to come in. It's giving me like Janet Jackson. She has a song called The Knowledge from the Rhythm Nation album. And she also has a quote. Let me see if I can remember the quote. Let me see if I can remember it. In darkness, we're all the same. Our knowledge is the only thing that separates us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. Something like that. Something like that. But I might have butchered like the beginning part of the quote, but it's something along those lines. I might have missed a couple words or something in there. But yeah. That's actually my favorite Janet Jackson album, Rhythm Nation. When I was younger, it was Control. But when I got older, knowing like the impact that Rhythm Nation had in terms of, societal standards and things like that, and politics, like she made a big impact with that album. No skips. Like the whole album's perfect. And then Janet, she, her next album after that was like more like, she's like, sexual liberation and all that. That's my girl. I love me some Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. You know, well, y'all know, if you know, you know. I love me the Jacksons in general, right? I love all of them. But, yeah, like, Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson, those are my idols. So, like, in terms of music. So it's like, I grew up on them. I grew up on all the Jacksons, really. But, yeah. I remember, like, when I was, like, how old was I? Like, the Pleasure Principle video came out when I was like, how old was I? Probably like 3. And my parents caught me right on time when I was trying to do the chair move. When she's on the chair and then she tips it over. They caught me right on time before I broke my damn neck. So, you know, thanks mom and dad for catching me before I died. Y'all wouldn't have known me otherwise. But, oh man. Uh, yes. So for some of you guys, back to the readings. You know how I get, guys. You know, I like to laugh and stuff and have fun on here with you guys. Family is important. Um, Family could be a part of your transformation. I'm getting a couple of different messages with that. I'm getting, especially with how you're talking about acceptance and forgiveness. Some of you guys are learning how to forgive family, right? And this is a part of the transformation because, you know, maybe, you know, you might be feeling like, damn, you know, family, they're supposed to have my back. I'm supposed to feel, you know, comfortable with these people, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, you're not in the best place with certain people in your family. And then now you're in a place of, you know, maybe a little bit of resentment and stuff like that. And it's like, well, in order to move forward, you know, they're trying to guide you. They're like, you have to accept things, you know, to an extent. Um, because the thing is, like, even if you were to address these things and talk about it and say, hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's go to therapy, let's have a conversation, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything's going to come of it, right? Unfortunately. Um, but the key is being able to, again, accept things for what it is. Or what they are, I should say. Secret. There could be some secrets within the family dynamic that, you know, don't get a lot of attention, you know, sweeping things under the rug and acting like it never happened. I have that in my own family, and you know, some other people might have very similar things too. I'm getting things like, don't like to talk about this too much on here, but it pops up. It pops up often. Molestation. Um, doesn't have to be that serious for some of you. It could just be like, you know, just that, like, just not a good vibe with each other. You know, just constantly bumping heads. Could be different things. Abuse. You know, different forms, right? And then when you address it, they act like it never happened. Gaslighting. Like, I'm getting a lot of different things. So, you know, only take the messages as they resonate. You know, don't force them to fit. But I am picking up on something along those lines. Especially when we're talking about like this energy of like, you know, forgiveness and understanding which relationships are worth saving or working on versus the ones that you might have to just kind of sever ties. And just understanding that you're being walked through it during that process. I think it also allows for the right people to, you know, build with in your life. You know, your best friends could turn into family. You know, I can say that right now. You know, got some of them on here right now as we speak. Kindness, yeah. Practicing kindness. You know, we don't have to, you know, harbor resentment and anger towards people. Yeah, we don't always have to be on the defense all the time. You know, I heard the word stronghold. Like, you don't have to always be like that. Some of you guys might have Scorpio in your chart or Cancer. Yeah, sacred is here. Being a honestly just good person is really important, and it's something that we don't get to see too often, right? And yeah, just being able to, you know, respect that friend style. Yeah, collaborate is here. Again, which relationships are you going to, you know, work on? Which ones are you going to defend? Some of you guys might be on the, ooh, yeah, see? Look, as I say, which ones are you going to defend versus which ones have to die? And what's underneath that? Transform, and communicate. I didn't do that. The freaking card slid that way while I'm trying to get the other card. Like, yeah, they're like, yep. You're gonna have to be able to, tell the difference. Collaborate is here again. All right. And then we have it. That card with the collaborate, of course, like now I can't. It's gonna be gone, right? Because I already started shuffling. But that collaborate card, it had an ant on it, and ants are a whole collective, like a hive mind almost, if you will. They work together, and that gives this, this group think card here. Very interesting. Let's get like 2 more from here, Spirit. I know this reading is a little bit of a slow burn, right? Slow burn. But I do hope that the messages that are coming out resonate with you guys. Instinct is here. I'm getting kind of honoring your instinct, right? Being able to, as my cat is, right here next to me. It's funny. I almost pulled from the my Sacred Animals deck. But I left them there. But I went with these, and these are mostly animals in this deck. Almost all of it is animals. So I was like, okay, we're going to go with this one. But it's just kind of interesting, It's kind of giving me this energy of, animals are so instinctual, and they know their shit. They feel it. When some, practice that, right? Hone in on, what you feel. Hone in on that. It's also time to have fun. Do something fun. Yeah. Death card is here. And some moth. Yeah, I think you guys know the relationships that need to be severed. Yeah. If it doesn't provide you with something that helps bring joy to your life, it doesn't bring out the best in you, and vice versa, then you gotta let it go. That's what I'm getting. Or at the very least, distance yourself from it. At the very least. Doesn't have to be completely cut off, but just, I'm picking up on this for somebody. This is not going to be for everyone. Even your own kids, for your own parents. Like, yeah, you might have defended a relationship for a very long time, and you're realizing now, this is just not going to work. If they're not doing their part and meeting you where you are, meeting you in the middle, then what are you supposed to do? I just heard a hard head makes a soft ass. You best believe it. Okay, so it's like, yeah. Gotta find that courage to be able to say, okay, enough's enough. Have that sense of determination and courage within yourself to say, okay, I can't do it. One more. Wow. It's very interesting. I didn't know where this reading was going to go. That's been happening a lot lately. Like, the readings have just been like things that are so unexpected. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, it's not like the typical of things like a love reading or, whatever. Like, no, it's been a little bit of everything. We've been talking about, overall health. We've been talking about, getting, your finances right for your family. Like, all kind of shit has been coming up in these readings as of lately. This is definitely not your typical channel. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with, people who do love readings. I watch love readings. But, like, that's how I got into tarot in the first place. So nothing wrong with that. Not knocking anybody who does mostly love readings. But, like, I try to let spirit guide me on the readings that I do. And just, I don't say, oh, I'm going to read about this today. I look at my decks and I say, spirit. After I meditate, I say, what are we going to read about? And then they just kind of, like a conduit, they just take my hand and they're like, that one, that one, that one, that. I'm like, oh, okay. And there'll be decks where I'm like, I don't think this is going to make a message that's going to actually be cohesive. And it ends up being very, very much so cohesive. We be having people crying in here and shit. I was crying the other night. like a little baby. What was it? Like 3 in the morning or some crazy shit, right? Couldn't sleep. Spirit's like, oh, there's a message. Something is going to be revealed. Yeah. Communicate is here again. Rest. You gotta rest. I heard rest assured. I'm getting kind of in a way like once you say what you need to say, it's giving me like John Mayer. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Um, yeah. There could have been something that, has yet to been like really discussed. And now it's like time to really put it out there and say what needs to be said. And then when you do, it allows for there to be a sense of, you know, real dialogue about, what the next steps are, especially when it comes to relationships in which you're trying to figure out how do we mend it, right? All right, let's get like maybe 3 to 4 cards from what I call the pink deck. There's no actual name for these, so, or at least not that I can recall. So like even on the box doesn't really have anything on it, so I'm like, which I misplaced the box. Well, look at that, we do have freedom here. Yeah, gotta free yourself. Yeah, time will reveal. I'm hearing 4114. I looked up just now. I'm hearing time will reveal by the Barge. Maybe you guys might like that band, or that group I should say. I know just how it feels, but this time love's for real. In time it will reveal. Oh, it gets better with time. I love the Barge, but that's one of those songs where I know some of the lyrics, but I don't know all of them, so I won't butcher it too much. Alright. Yeah, repair. See? I'm telling you. Like, it's about repairing relationships. But understanding the ones that are meant to be repaired. Are they going to allow for a sense of balance in your life, or are they going to keep you feeling off balance? Like if it makes you feel like, I don't know about this, then yeah. Don't let nobody manipulate you into, working on relationships with them, especially within family apparently right now, because people know how to orchestrate. They know how to pull those strings, pull those heartstrings I just picked up on, to kind of, keep you stuck. You don't want that. Alright, so let's do like 3 from here. 3 or 4. Whatever Spirit says. Captive. Being balanced, peaceful, and in harmony. Very interesting. Especially because we just had another, card with a bird in a cage, right? One is freeing themselves, and one is actually okay and content with where they are. You're like, I'm okay right here. Yeah. They're okay there. Just have to be wise, right? Gain that knowledge. We talked about the knowledge before, just a moment ago. Yeah. A lot of great things could come towards you if you allow for the right connections to stay within your life and foster the right ones. Got 2 cards out at once. What we got? Anchor, and I said something about an anchor a second ago. But this, in this case, is talking about a sense of steadiness, a sense of stability. Locked in is what I just heard, but in a good way. We have unreachable here that came up with it. So again, that discernment is going to be important, because there are going to be certain things that you're going to feel, I heard the word tethered to, and you're going to have to be able to recognize what's what. Do they help you pursue where you're trying to go, or do they keep you held back? If they keep you held back, you have to know the difference. Discernment, yeah. With this puppet card again, I heard Puppet Master. Some of you guys might like that movie, or that series of movies. That movie was fucked up, bro. movie fucked me up as a kid because I definitely shouldn't have been watching it in the first place. And I did watch it, and oh my god, that movie was not a good movie for a kid to watch. It was terrible. Like, in terms of like for a child to be watching. And I wonder why I'm all fucked up right now. We have rats here. Insatiable. Yeah, people try to feed off of you. You have to recognize it. Real recognize it's real. Hey Taz, what's up? How you doing? We have the moon, yeah. People have hidden agendas. You have to be able to pick up on what's what. Let's get, I was about to say like 2 cards, and they gave me exactly 2. Alright, so, you have to choose peace. We have choices here. And peace. You have to be the one to choose your path. So it says, becoming aware of different, I was about to say opinions. It says options. Options or making a choice between paths. Yep. Along with peace. Finding peace, a state of mental and emotional balance. I talked about balance a little while ago. Free the anxiety and disturbances. Yeah, don't stay there. Don't stay stuck in that energy. By choice, no thank you. Choose your peace. If anybody's disturbing that shit, you gotta let them go. Including family. Yeah. This is a game of checkers and not, or chess, not fucking checkers. They're not gonna keep on manipulating you into staying around. But this is fate. You're learning something. You know, a lesson, karmic lessons, right? To restore a sense of harmony in your life and balance. One more from here, Spirit. Thank you. Self, you're reflecting. You're reflecting on your higher self. Who are you? You're the who. Who are you? Somebody also might be a fan of what was that show? Crime show. SVU Miami. Not SVU. But it did take place in Miami though. Fuck, what was it? SVU is Law and Order. What was it? Any other fellow crime show nerds here? Let me know. Horatio was the main guy, the redhead guy, and then the really cute Spanish dude. He was hot. God damn it. No, not Miami Vice, because this was like, no, it wasn't that old. No. God damn it. I'm gonna have to grab my computer. Hold up. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to get past it. ADHD for the win. Now I'm like, nope. I gotta look it up now. No, not Miami Vice, but it did take place in Miami, and I'm gonna be so, because there's different ones. It's and like I said, they're all like CSI. There we go. I don't even have to do it. It's CSI Miami. Thank you, Spirit. Because I'm like, come on, you know this fucking show, Michelle. That was like your favorite show. I used to watch it with my mom when I was pregnant. And I would come home from work. I used to work at the mall. And I would come home from work. And then like right before she would go to sleep, we would watch a show. No, I'm not calling you guys old. Because I used to watch Miami Vice too. I was just talking about the heat of the night the other fucking day. I used to watch old shows too. Murder, She Wrote, remember? I was talking about it. I'm not masking my oldness. But yes, you guys are honoring yourselves. But yeah, like that's when I started saying, "Ooh, I love y'all." But yes, you guys are becoming wiser, right? Doing that inner work. I'm getting like an owl. I think some of you guys might like owls. I love owls. I think they're so cute. I feel drawn to one more card from here. That was funny. But no, you guys are what, 25? Can't weep that well. Look like I got sun in my eye, right? Like, bitch, that is not a wink. What are you doing? You're doing too much. But Like, you guys 25, you young ladies. I would card you if you came to my job. Oh, man. For those of you who are new to the channel, I have two jobs. And my main job, I work at a school. I'm an assistant teacher. And then the second job, which I've been there for 17 years, um, I also work at a liquor store as a cashier. So I have to card people all the time. And it's just so funny now when, like, I card people who I'm like, oh my God. Like, literally, like, not to say am I old enough to be your mom, but I was in college when you were born. Like, that's wild as hell to me. I'm like, my kid, and I'm really realizing, like, wow, my kid legit is, like, going to be old enough to buy alcohol in a little bit more than a year. I'm just like, what the hell? Where did the time go? But yeah, it's wild. We have authority, yes. The ability to control or influence the actions and decisions of others. You guys have to take authority over your life, is what I'm getting. You guys, y'all don't realize. Yeah. And that's when you guys start to see things coming towards you. Different blessings. Blessings. Coming through, you know, love. All the things. Wow, we have two cards about mystery that came out. That's interesting. So we have mystery here again. You know, because sometimes we have to just let life happen to an extent. But other times it's time to kind of grab life by the fucking balls and say, you know what? No. I can't let everything be left up to chance. I have choice in the matter. I have free will. Let me have that sense of sovereignty where I have it, is what I'm getting. Yeah, because I have choices here. The lovers. Big choices at that. Like, I don't have to stay stuck in my circumstances. I don't have to entertain relationships with people who, you know, don't serve me any fucking purpose anymore. For what? I'm not doing that anymore. Standing my ground. Now, granted, you know, allow yourself to be led to, but then when you start to see, you know, what you need to see about certain people and situations, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to move on. Let's get a couple more shuffles. We're just gonna keep this one simple. We're gonna do like a little 3-card spread. I don't want to hold you out too long. And then some advice pieces from Spirit, and then that'll be the end of the message. Yeah, it's time to, you know, be happy. You deserve it. 9 of Cups here. You deserve to be happy. Yep. And when you allow that happiness to come in, you also welcome in new blessings. Again, with that Page of Pentacles, like, you get to welcome in something new. And again, fated to happen this way. The Wheel of Fortune here. Some of you guys might be a fixed sign. Let me know in the comments if that resonates. That's too many cards. Way too many. Is that fucking 10? Let's see. Yeah. Let's see what the recent past energy is looking like. Five of Wands. Yeah. There was some chaos and conflict. And we did see that energy throughout the reading, right? This energy of, you know, feeling conflicted about, you know, the overall relationship or connection you have with certain people in your life, as well as feeling conflicted within yourself. Because again, you know that you deserve happiness. You want to be happy. You don't want to stay stuck and, you know, bound to these people who you give to, but they take. Yeah, enough of that. 10 of Swords. Who wants to stay in those kind of situations? Nobody. Nobody, baby. What is the current energy? Emperor. So we got authority, and then we have Emperor. Same energy. So you guys you're taking control. You're like, fuck this. Yeah. I'm going to take a little more authority and control over how I give to others. The Queen of Pentacles, she's somebody who's very giving, very generous. And she cares about people. But she's also kind of discerning in a way where she also is well aware of who she should give to. And that's where you guys are headed right now. Yeah, you're observing people. You're watching. paying attention. Page of Swords here. You're paying attention to how people move around you. And if you know that they're moving in a funny ass way, including family, you're like, yeah, no. That cup's going to get a little bit smaller now with that Page of Cups. Like, I'm not about to sit here and give you the world when you won't even put your fucking foot or your toe in a goddamn puddle for me. Like, why am I going to keep doing that to myself? For what? No. Can't do that. Can't do it anymore. While I'm getting here. Alright. What is the, likely outcome? Like I said, family is weird like that because, like, it could be your own parents, it could be your own kids if you're, if you have kids, and if they're older. Like, it's just crazy how family gets wonky like that. And it's like you will want to, repair those relationships, and then you realize, I can't with certain people. Siblings, I'm getting that too. Like, that one, I almost, like, felt like a little nauseous when I said the siblings part. So for somebody to be something with your siblings, like, really not communicating with them right now. For somebody, like, literally, anytime you have to, like, talk to them or be around them, be like, you feel sick to your stomach kind of thing. Ooh, that's a terrible feeling. Like, not even like you're upset with them or, like, they hurt you or something. Just their presence just makes you, like your whole nervous system shuts down. It's like, ooh, sorry, I don't like that. And the thing is, our nervous system will tell us when, certain people, certain situations are just not good for us. We have Page of Wands here. And I did say this before, there might be like a message that needs to be kind of delivered to keep things moving forward. Six of Swords is here. Because that Page of Wands is about enthusiasm and communication. And then on the bottom we have Six of Swords, is about moving from rough waters to calmer waters. So maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had about, maybe where a person kind of put you at, right? With this Five of Pentacles. They might have made you feel like that, left out in the cold and abandoned and stuff like that. And you might have to be the one to kind of say, you know what, let me have this conversation with this person to get what I need to say out. Extend that olive branch. Somebody's from the south. Extend that olive branch and say what needs to be said. Whatever that person decides to do with that information is on them. You did your part. Yeah. It could, result in something really positive for some of you. Ace of Wands. And even if it doesn't result in, like, you rekindling or rebuilding a relationship with somebody, it could just be used as inspiration to move forward in general towards something that, you feel passionate about. You could transmute that energy. Any last messages from the tarot, Spirit? That's what I'm picking up on right now. If these messages are resonating with you guys, let me know in the comments, or you could do it with your reactions. You can hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button too if you feel like this is, something that you like, this type of vibe here at this channel. We have the Queen of Cups here. So the Queen of Cups, she represents, again, somebody who's very nurturing, loving, giving. She acts on emotion a lot, so she could be a little bit naive. But when she's balanced, she's also very intuitive. So, maybe you're learning how to intuitively give your cup and extend yourself versus constantly pouring into everybody else's cup and never getting anything back. We do have the World on the bottom of the cup, so that could be confirmation. Like, you're learning how do you extend yourself. Yeah. Knight of Wands on the top. And Six of Wands. I'm getting that you will be successful in however you decide to, go about it, depending on your circumstances, right? Because again, you'll know which ones to move on from. Especially when you have to put your foot down and mean business with that Queen of Wands underneath the Knight of Wands. What's underneath that? Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, again, being discerning, right? And concrete. Yep, you had to learn a karmic lesson. That's exactly it. The Justice card, like you, Ace of Pentacles, they're like, yeah, you have been overly extending and giving to people who don't deserve it. You act on emotion sometimes because you care about people, and then you end up in a bind because, let's get one more card from your spirit, because you feel maybe obligated to people emotionally, especially family. And it's like, but the thing is, it's like you can't, allow people to, dictate what you're gonna do. You can't do everything for everyone if they're not, doing something for you too. That's not fair. You're just gonna bleed yourself dry like that. Yeah, there could be some fears or anxieties going on with this moon card. But I'm also picking up on like hidden, hidden things that you don't know. The Ten of Wands on the bottom. King of Pentacles. And Six of Swords. They're like, look, you're about to move on from, this is what's happening behind the scenes. They're like, we're opening up opportunities for you in your life to meet the right people who are going to give to you the way that you give to them. And it's going to allow for reciprocal connections versus staying, stagnant, versus feeling like, again, obligated to give to certain people, because that's not fair, you know. Yeah, because what happens is you sabotage your goddamn self-sabotage. When I split the deck, it says, and that number 5 is showing up again, you may be creating pain for yourself by standing in your own way. No more of that. Resolve is here. This is a period of indecision and inner conflict, and it's time to make a decision. Yeah, and I said that before. You're going to have to kind of make some decisions when it comes to the relationships that you're going to foster, because if you continue to stay with people or have people in your life who put you in these kind of positions, you're sabotaging yourself. You're taking from yourself, and that's not fair. Sorry, guys. My cat, she's gonna go crazy because she hears my brother in the kitchen, and now she just wants to follow me around. That's what she does. Every time anyone comes out of the room or anything, she's like, "Oh, I have to go bother them now." It's like, girl, you don't go sit down somewhere. Alright. So we're gonna get like 2 to 3 cards from here, and then we're gonna read from one more deck after that, and that'll be the end of the reading. I do hope that for those of you who decided to stick around, I hope that the messages are resonating, and it came in a little bit late, but the message resonates. Once I post this up, as long as YouTube doesn't do what it did last week, as long as that works out, you can always do the replay and see if the messages resonate for you. We have Energy Healer here on the bottom of the deck. It says, your natural ability to heal yourself and others is needed now. So this is definitely a time of healing, right? Working on yourself and just understanding, where you are in the process of what's going on as you clear out things, making space for the new, right? It says, auric field. It is time to call in energy protection to shield, clear, and strengthen your aura. Middle of the deck, we have core values. Yes, you have to understand and recognize, people and situations that actually align with where you're headed right now. If it doesn't align with you, you have to remove it. Because, again, it's going to just kind of eat off of you. It's going to fester. You don't want that. Follow your heart and make your values a priority. We have someone here. Hi, Jess. How are you? Jess, this is just a collective message right now. Sorry. And we're also almost done with the reading. So if you want to stick around for the last few minutes just to see if there's a message in here for you, that would be awesome. If you want to check it out later once I post it up in a few, next few minutes, that's also cool. But, either way, totally understandable. But I am not doing personals at this time. I'm sorry. Alright, so what we got here? We have 3 cards that came out together. Alright, so we have Seeker of Truth came out. You can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances. Yep, you can feel it. That's that moon card, right? And I also was saying that you guys are very intuitive. You can feel things. You guys know a lot more than what you give yourself credit for. You feel it. Earth shifts is here. You are very connected to Mother Earth, and as such, you experience all she does. You go with the flow of life, and you feel things. Very intuitive, very instinctual. We also have Source, so you're getting messages even from the divine. Your connection to Source is the light and love that shines through you and leads the way. Those all came out together. So not only are you very connected in general to Source, but you're also connected to your instincts, and your intuition. You're very connected to those things. So don't dishonor them. You know what I mean? By allowing yourself to, stay connected to, certain people, including family, who don't serve you in any way that's helpful, right? Looking at things differently. Perception. You're getting ready to have a shift in perception that will change everything. You're reevaluating things, is what I'm picking up on. Yeah. And what you're picking up on is how to set some boundaries. You know what I mean? Because you can't, there's certain people you're going to have to kind of close out, especially with this number 28 on here, adds up to 10, closure. We talked about endings a lot. 10 is about endings that bring on new beginnings. And you're learning the gentle art of setting boundaries and saying no. Remember, no is a complete sentence. It's a complete sentence. And I know that, a lot of us feel guilty about saying no to people that we love and care about, but you got to do it. And it's a part of the spiritual growth. It's a part of the journey. You're currently experiencing a lesson required for your spiritual evolution. Yeah. You're learning. So we got, makes a lot of sense. All right, we have spiritual gifts here. I just said something about people who are highly intuitive multiple times, didn't I? So I'm getting, and then we have empath that came out with it, but I'm going to read them how they came out. You are in the process of developing and fine-tuning your spiritual gifts. By the way, these cards are coming out in threes, which is interesting. So, you might either be seeing the numbers like 3-3, 3-3-3. You might get a life path number 3. Raise his hand. I'm a life path number 3. Let me know if that resonates at all. We have a support team here. 2 minds are better than 1. 3 minds are better than 2, and 4 minds are unstoppable. Now, I did mention earlier that I am getting this energy of you guys are about to start, as you're learning how to kind of navigate, which relationships you're meant to foster and connect with and reconnect with and rebuild, so on and so forth, which ones you're meant to kind of sever ties from. You are going to be in this place of being around more like-minded individuals. So with that support team and then this group think card, people who are more like you, who think the way that you do, so that you can actually be with people who are on the same wavelength as you. We have empath that came out with those other 2 cards, which is that, one of those spiritual gifts that you might possess. You may be confusing other people's energy with your own, which is very common for an empath, speaking from experience. Yeah. Learning how to navigate that gift is quite interesting, because it's almost like building a protective bubble around yourself, like an invisible bubble. So that you don't allow for other people's energy and shit to come and permeate your own. Because what ends up happening is you hold on to everybody else's shit, you're doing everything for everybody else, and you're draining yourself and you're bleeding yourself dry, because all you're doing is feeling everybody else's emotions and feelings and shit, and now you forget about your own. Tough love is here on the bottom. It's time to tell the truth about something you have been avoiding. Career. Oh, some of you guys might be doing a career transition too. That's kind of cool. Your soul is yearning for a career aligned with passion and purpose. I can dig that. Maybe the people that you're going to start linking up with are going to be people we could bounce ideas off of and work together. Very interesting. And core values is here again. I'll read what it says one more time. Follow your heart and make your values a priority. Yep, so we saw that part already. Alright, so let's get one more from here, and then we're going to read from the Akashic Truth Oracle deck, and then that'll be the end of the reading. I do hope that these messages have resonated and have been helpful. That's always my goal. We have universal flow here. It's time for you to slow down, breathe in, take time to smell the roses. So some of you guys might just work a lot. You don't really take time for yourself. You're always on the go. You know, just where you're not allowing yourself to just kind of be present. This is a time to focus on that. Be present. Yeah. Be present. Practice some self-love in the process. You are learning that your capacity to love others is directly related to your ability to love yourself. Very important. And that's why that empath energy is always so prominent with this type of stuff, because it's like, okay, well, you're so worried about everybody else and, you know, making sure everybody else is okay and not wanting to hurt people's feelings and ruffle feathers, but you got to make sure you're there for yourself too. That's not fair, right? That's not fair to you. There are new doors of opportunities that are going to be presenting themselves. Number 10 on here again with that 46. Didn't I mention earlier that I was picking up on 333? Yeah, sure enough did. Number 3 is on this other card on the bottom. Your prayers have been answered and a new door is being held open for you. It's here. And it kind of came out with this card, reconciliation, which is interesting. This relationship, friendship, or partnership can be saved. So again, you know, for some of you guys, there's going to be new opportunities when it comes to different relationships in your life that you can build. Whereas for some of you, that new opportunity comes in the form of a reconciliation. And when I say reconciliation, I mean, keep in mind, that could be with, you know, different people. It doesn't have to be, like, everybody thinks of it as romance, you know, like love readings or whatever. Oh, you're going to reconcile with this person. Like, no. In this case, we're not even really picking up on love in this reading at all in terms of romance. It's family for the majority of you. I mean, take the messages as they resonate. I'm not forcing anything to fit, but based on what we're seeing here, it's definitely been mostly about that and just understanding, you know, which relationships are meant to be fostered and nurtured at this time. Yeah, because again, you've been very generous. You know, you've given to a lot of people too much. This generosity card here in the middle of the deck. So, like, it's just about being mindful, right? Being cautious about, you know, how do you give your energy? How do you expend your energy? Yeah, because again, do you feel obligated to, you know, give your love and things to other people? Because I was picking up on obligation earlier. I think I literally said that word. Hey Lati, what's up, girl? Hey girl, hey. Got my sister in the building. Check her out. Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, where you're showing up, never get. Check my girl out though. Amazing person, amazing reader. More than just a reader, she's a channeled messenger, and she's just amazing at what she does all around. So definitely check my girl out. You will not regret it. Thank you for being here, my love. On the bottom here, we have obligation, and I did say something about you guys might feel obligated to certain people in your life and feel like you have to do stuff a certain way. You gotta be there for them. They need you. That whole thing. Sometimes you gotta call a spade a fucking spade. I'm just gonna tell you. It says stop telling yourself you should when you cater to others or to unnecessary expectations of yourself. You stop your flow of abundance. Exactly. I did talk about flowing of abundance coming in, right? Blessings coming in, but you don't want to block your blessings by, you know, staying in this stuck, stagnant energy. Can't make it up even if you want to. So we have authenticity here. You got to be real with yourself, with other people. Be your divine self at all times. You weren't designed to fit in. Break away from expectations and fully express yourself in your own unique way, and you'll be a magnet for success. I can dig it. Middle of the day, walk away, knowing when to walk away. You're wasting your precious energy on something that will not bear fruit. Will not bear fruit. I was talking about the fruit of your labor a little while ago. That's crazy. It's time to turn your attention to things more aligned with your soul's purpose. I was like, and I did say, if it's not aligned what you gotta do, it's gotta go, right? So we're coming full circle here, guys. Alright, so let's get like free from here. Some closing messages, and that will be the end of the reading. Again, if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, but you were resonating with this message, hit that like button and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm on. I would greatly appreciate the support, and I would love to just be able to be connected with you guys so that you guys could be a part of this tribe and get more personalized messages and things of that nature. And you also know when I do the free readings, which I don't do them often, but when I do, they usually go pretty well. So I always say it, I'm not like my girls where they're able to just, I don't know how they do it, but whew, more power to you. My girls Tears and Wheat Tarot show, and I Inspire Tarot, where they do the free readings, and I'm just like, and they go on for hours, and they do it like once or twice a week each, and I'm just like, how do y'all do it? And I'm lucky if I could do it once or twice a month, let alone that many goddamn times. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how they do it. It's amazing what they're able to do. But yeah, like I said, check them out. And my girl Phoenix Priestess too. If you were to scroll up like a little bit more towards the top, her name will be there, and like I said, she's an amazing reader. So gifted and in tuned, and she will give you that spiritual aspect in that. Spirit is saying that you need sometimes, because she gonna tell you how you need to hear it. Like, not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear, which is what I love about her. Yeah, see, obligation is here again. You already read it, so we're not gonna read it again. But yeah, miracles. I believe in miracles. Where you from, you sexy thing? You're being asked to pay attention, extra close attention, to all the big and small miracles that have already occurred in your life, and also to those that are currently occurring and are still to come. Miracles surround you. Be on the lookout for them. Yeah, there are things happening all the time. And sometimes, we take advantage of, the things that are, blessings already in our lives, and we forget. And that's why being present is so important. We talked about that. We have released judgment here. Here on the top, it says, holding on to judgment, whether of yourself or others, only clouds your vision. Release it and see the world and your path with clearer eyes. And that was really the whole premise of this reading. Forgiveness was a big part of it. I know it says, forgive judgment, but a lot of times when we're holding on to resentments and things like that and not forgiving somebody, aren't we kind of judging them at the same time? In a lot of cases, kind of goes hand in hand. Listen, goddamn it, listen. You're being asked to listen to your inner voice. It's been I'm about to say judging. It does not say that. It says guiding. It's been guiding you to something, or to say something, and it's time to act on its wisdom. The whole purpose of this fucking message. Wow. The wisdom that you need to gain to be able to, go forward. Wow. 2 more. Break free. A lot of butterflies. Whew, this print is very fine, but I could read it, I think. You're being asked to break free from the tribe in order to live your authentic life. So we have a lot of cards about authenticity and stuff too. This isn't easy, but it's very necessary if you're going to share your true self with others. Be brave, be real, be you, and trust that those who love you will always be there for you. So sometimes, we separate from other people, right? Even our own family, when we branch off, trying to get that sense of, independence and whatnot in our lives. And, it doesn't always, sit well with them, but that's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do for yourself too. Because look what's here again on the bottom of the deck. Authenticity. You can't make it up even if you wanted to. Wow. Scattered energy, yeah. It puts you in too many different places. You're getting pushed and pulled in too many different places. You can't do that. Take a moment, pause, sit down with what you're feeling, and allow yourself to be present and figure out what the next course of action is. Even if it means breaking away from the people that you felt obligated to. All right, let's get one more from here, Spirit, to close out. Greatly appreciate you guys for being here, and I hope that you guys have been receiving the message. All right, wow, we have self-love here again, 2 different decks. All right, and we also have shame. We have shame. It says, you've carried this burden for too long. It's time to release the guilt you've placed, oh, that's a judgment and all that, right? You've placed on yourself, and start a new chapter in your life. Set a new goal and begin taking action towards your happiness. Absolutely. And we also have self-love that came up with it. You are worthy and deserving of all the abundance in the universe. Treat yourself with the love and respect you desire, and others will follow suit. Yeah. You are what you attract. If you're putting out love, if you're showing people that you know that you're deserving of love because you love yourself and you think highly of yourself and you put that energy out there, guess what? That's the energy you're going to get back. We talked about law of attraction and law of assumption earlier in the reading. Yeah, take a step back, reevaluate things. Ask yourself those hard questions as you honor yourself and what you know you deserve at this time. Because you definitely deserve more as you live your more authentic life. Ooh, child. What a reading. That was a good one. Okay, guys. Got some work to do. Well, guys, thank you for being here. I really hope that you guys resonated with that message. I hope that it was helpful. I definitely enjoyed delivering the message to you guys. With all that said, if you're new and you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe. It's free. Yep. I would greatly appreciate that support as, we're slowly building up this channel. And, yeah, just trying to, do what I feel like called and guided to do to help you guys out. Trying to be in my authenticity as well, as I do this work. But yeah, with all that said, you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you for all that you do to help support the channel. And again, if you're new, hit that like button, subscribe. I will see you guys on the flip side, probably tomorrow. Yeah, so you guys have a great evening. And until next time, my lovies. Blessings, you're so cute. Yeah, I will. She's chilling in her little cat house now, acting like she was just acting like a damn fool just a few minutes ago. I'll smack her. I'm just joking. All right, bye guys. Love y'all.